Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so back with another pickup video. So as you know, recently I've been showing off my Xbox 360 collections, my starting of the Mega Drive collection, the starting of the Super Nintendo, and of course I've been doing my N64. But they're all the other systems that I play as well. And over the last year, I've picked up some games for different systems, as well as buying a new system recently. So I thought I'd just combine it all into one video because I haven't shown any of this stuff before, and I thought it'd be interesting just to show you the little bits that I picked up for other systems, the new system I've bought, and also talk about the games I've been playing recently as well. Thought it might make an interesting video. Right, okay, so first up we're going to be going to the PlayStation, the PS1, and I picked up one game last year. I know it's dismal, isn't it? But this one popped up, and I thought, you know what, that looks quite interesting. I'd never heard of the game. Never seen anyone on YouTube show it in a pickup video or talk about it, which I thought was odd. But then the library is so vast, I suppose that's going to happen, isn't it? And I had a quick look at some YouTube gameplay and it looked pretty good. So it was only 12 quid. I thought, why not? That game is called Air Race. So this is basically a Ridge Racer style arcade racing game, but using aeroplanes. And I thought the box art was really cool. And I thought the gameplay looked really decent. So I picked it up and gave it a try. And you know what, it's actually not that bad. It's quite a decent little racing game. If you like a little simple arcade racer, then this would be for you. And as I say, I got it for 12 quid. Wasn't expensive at all, so well worth adding to the collection. And it handles quite well as well. The controls are pretty decent. The graphics are okay and nice, you know, not mind-blowing. It has got a sticker on the front. It got 95% winner from PlayStation Plus magazine. I never read PlayStation magazines when the PS1 was out, so I have no idea if that magazine has credibility or not, but nonetheless, the game looks pretty good. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. As I say, it's a nice cheap one as well, and it's from THQ. I don't know if they developed or published, but yeah, not a bad little game. So yeah, I'd check out Air Race, see what you think, see if you enjoy it or not. But I thought I'd mention it because, as I say, I've never seen anybody talk about it. So it's one of those, I suppose, hidden gems in a way. I mean, it got a 95% rating. I don't think it's that bad a racer. It's quite fun. So who knows? Let's hope it doesn't go up in price now. Right, next thing I'm going to talk about is a modern system. And this is something I purchased when it first came out back in 2017. But at that time I was hooked on Xbox and PlayStation. So I was playing my PS4, my Xbox One. And of course it is a Switch. The Switch never got looked at, but I've picked one up again. I've got myself an OLED. Because to be honest, there wasn't a lot of difference in price. So might as well just go for the OLED, get the best one. Yeah. So far so good. I've only had it a few months and it's been pretty good. I've been enjoying playing it quite a lot. I haven't played tons of it because obviously I've been doing a lot of the retro stuff lately, so that's taken over quite a lot, but I have picked up 3 games for it so far. I need to buy a new game because I'm now running out of things to play. But the first game I picked up, which was the main reason I decided to get back into the Switch, because to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get another Switch. As I say, I had one in 2017. It's now 2024 when I picked this one up. So 7 years, I thought, am I ever going to bother? Because the library's so huge, and I see people like Al's Arcade, who puts up loads of Switch stuff, Champion 2D Rob, and there's all this great limited run stuff and all these amazing retro style games and retro reimaginings and remasters and Christ knows what else coming out. And I thought I'm never going to be able to keep up with the library, but I was always interested in getting one back because I like the way the Switch operates. I like the switch between docked and handheld. I like the fact that the game's on SD cards, which is kind of cool. Makes them a little bit more fun and collectible. And there's just such a good library of games, and there's obviously all the Nintendo stuff. But the one game that came out that I thought I just need to play it, I really want to try that, was Super Mario Wonder. So fantastic 2D Mario, back to the old school. Really impressed with it. I thought the graphics were stunning, the music's brilliant. Level design's really fun. It does feel a little bit too easy for a Mario game, I've got to be honest. I got through to the end pretty quickly. It didn't really feel that much of a challenge at all. You know, there's little bits here and there where, you know, I maybe couldn't work out what to do, but it didn't take me long to figure it out. But nonetheless, the game itself is really, really fun. Definitely a really one of the quality 2D Mario games. Then again, is there a bad 2D Mario game? Maybe some people would say the new Super Mario Brothers were the worst ones, which I liked them. I thought they were decent, but yeah, they're not the pinnacle. They're not Mario 3 or Mario 4, are they? You know. But yeah, Super Mario Wonder, decent game. Just thought a bit short, bit easy. Not much of a challenge, but you know, I like this. I'm trying to think. It's been a while. It's been a few months since I played this. There was, I can't know if they're flowers or what they were. There was something. There's these things that are locked. They get locked in ice and they talk, And some of the dialogue I thought was really funny, really good idea, the way they come up with it. Yeah, it's just a cutesy, fun 2D Mario game. So yeah, I enjoyed it. But there you go. So next game I picked up is a little bit random. To be honest, it was cheap, and I like this style of game, and I thought, why not just give it a shot? And it is, I'll get the right title, Arkanoid Eternal Battle Limited Edition. So you get some bullshit cards with it that I don't care about. That's the problem with this. You get a lot of this now. You get a lot of this stuff that I just don't give a shit about. I want the game. I don't really care about all the extra stuff that comes with these things. It's just a block breaker, an Arkanoid. You know what Arkanoid is. It's all right. It's not too bad. I'm not very good at it, to be totally honest with you. I tend to mess it up quite a lot. I tend to, once I get a bit of speed behind the ball, I can't keep track of it, and it does my nut a bit, and I end up, you only get about 3 lives to start with and all, which is quite frustrating, because it's quite rapid when it gets going, and I just can't get to the balls quick enough and end up just losing them down the hole. But it's pretty good. Works really nicely in handheld mode with the headphones on, because it's got a really nice soundtrack to it. It's pretty good on the big screen, obviously, because you've got a lot more area to see, so it's a lot easier to see where the balls are going and what you're doing. But it's just a basic Arkanoid game. It's just break the blocks, get the power-ups, shoot the blocks, expand your little baton thing. It's not bad at all. It's a cheap game. Definitely one I'd recommend giving a try. Now for the one that I really wanted to try the most. As much as I wanted Mario Wonder, and that's fantastic, this is one I've wanted for absolutely ages. I remember Johnny, Happy Console Gamer, talking about this when it came out a few years back now. Really glad I picked it up, because it is brilliant. It is Ninja Saviors. So this is the Super Nintendo game, Super Ninja Warriors, but obviously for whatever copyright reasons and licensing, they've had to call it Ninja Saviors instead. But it is Ninja Warriors, updated, 16:9, better graphics. I mean, it still looks like the SNES game, to be quite honest. It just looks like higher resolution, but it looks really, really nice the way they've done it. The music's fantastic, controls really nicely. It's just incredible to watch, because I played Ninja Warriors on my Wii mostly, because I'm never going to be able to afford to buy an actual copy of it, because it's far too expensive. Although the Japanese one can maybe be achievable, so we'll see on that one. But PAL and US, forget it. But yeah, I always played it on the CRT behind me, so that's a 27-inch decent screen. But when you put it on a modern flat screen and you're like 55 inches on it, it looks absolutely phenomenal. I was doing really well, but the problem I've got with the game is it's got no save mode. So when you're playing the game, you have to complete each level, and every time you complete a level, it unlocks that level, and then you can do a time trial on that level. But if you don't, I was getting through to level 4, and then I eventually got through to the beginning of level 5 and just died, and then you have to start from scratch every time. Now you get a lot of continues. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if it was infinite continues, because when I eventually did beat this about a week ago, it did seem to go that way, so I'm not too sure how it was working. But yeah, I just couldn't get further than level 5. I kept dying and getting the game over screen, so it must not have ultimate, it must not have infinite. I don't know. I seem to get a lot of continues for some reason when I was playing it the other day. But yeah, I managed somehow the other day, I sat down and played it last week, and it just sort of clicked, and I managed to get all the way through to the end and finish the game, and I was absolutely amazed that I managed to do that. I always play as the female robot as well, because that's the coolest one, with the red suit and the big blonde ponytail. That's a cool ass robot, that is. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. I really enjoyed it. Definitely got my money's worth. It's only about 20 quid, so yeah, well worth picking up. It did get a couple of unlocks as well. It unlocked the arcade music, which, to be honest, I didn't think sounded as good as the modern music. The modern music was way better. And then it also unlocked a new character who was crap. It was just a short, fat character who doesn't really move much. Yeah, it's rubbish. But yeah, the game itself, absolutely brilliant. If you like the original, then you're going to love this one. I definitely recommend it. So yeah, so far Switch is good. Just deciding what to buy next. Whether I want to get something that's got a bit more depth, but then I also want something arcadey as well. So I really want to get Toki. Problem with Toki is you can't get this version. Most of the time it comes up, it's that stupid code in the box, which I do not understand that. What's the point? It's totally illogical to manufacture a box with epoxy code in it. Modern gaming. So yeah, it's either that or you buy the collector's edition, which there are tons of, and it's about 30 quid. And anybody who lists that version, the standard version, tends to list it for higher prices than the collector's edition, which makes no sense, as theirs is a used copy and the collector's edition is sealed. So I'm going to end up buying that bloody collector's edition. I remember Cybersnake 7 years ago picked that up, and you get the little cardboard arcade machine. I think you get art books and all kinds of crap in there. I don't give a toss. And they're also a pain in the arse to store, because you've got the massive box. That's why I just want those, because they're so much easier to store on the shelf. But you know, I'm not one of these collector box guys. I never have been. I've never been into the statues and all that sort of thing. You know, the ones, there's been a couple that have interested me, like the Tomb Raider, the reboot, the 2013 one, that was great. The Max Payne 3 one looked really cool, but I can never see the point. I'm just not interested in having that stuff in my house. But nonetheless, I will get Toki at some point. I'll just have to buy the collector's edition and suck it up. I know James Retro Import Gamer wants to get it as well, and he was saying the same thing. It's a little bit annoying, but there you go. So yeah, I'll carry on with the Switch. I'll play into it. I'm just still trying to really work out the library and what's available and what to get. If you've got any recommendations, please let me know. And as long as it's not an RPG, an RTS, a Metroidvania, anything like that, I won't play. But if it's just straight up fun action games, like first-person shooters, third-person action games, arcade games, retro games, anything like that. The limited run stuff, obviously, most of that I probably won't be able to buy because it'll be extortionately expensive on eBay and you won't be able to get it on limited run anymore. Very annoying. I hate that whole thing. Drives me mad. But there you go. That's the Switch anyway. Right, so the next thing I want to talk about, I never thought I'd talk about this on my channel because I'm not a big handheld gamer, but it is the Nintendo DS. Now, this is my dad's original DS. He bought this back when brain training was all the rage, like Wii Sports was on the Wii. So, yeah, he bought the DS, which is bizarre for my dad, but yeah. He decided to pick one up and play brain training. And eventually, when he got bored of brain training, he passed it to me and put it in my collection. And it's sat in my collection on the shelf for years now. I've never touched it, really. I played a bit of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in the day, and that was it. I've never really looked into the library. I don't know what games are on the DS. But, as you know, I love my James Bond games. I'm a big fan of them, and I've got a lot of them. I've still got a few more I want for my Bond collection. But I didn't realise they'd released 4 different Bond games on the DS. So I went on to CEX and bought them all. And I thought I'd try them out. Now, there's 2 I haven't... Well, no, in fact, there's 1 that I haven't put a lot of time into so far, which is Quantum of Solace. It's weird. You have to hold the DS like that, like bookway, which is odd, and use a stylus. It's not a traditional, what I thought was going to be like a first-person or third-person game. No, it's just a whole... I don't even know how you explain it. It's like isometric and you use a stylus to move Bond around, and it's really weird. And I couldn't get my head around the shooting at the beginning. It was explaining it, but it went off the screen too quickly. And then I couldn't find anything that would tell me what Emma just told me, so I couldn't get it to work. I don't know. I'll have to put some time into that one. But I got Quantum of Solace. I also, last night I was playing GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which, you know, is just basically the same game as what you got on the consoles. It's just very basic, Doom style, run around, shoot anyone that gets in your way. But it's got a really cool soundtrack on the DS version. I was absolutely amazed when I played it. I thought the music was brilliant. I did get stuck. I was doing quite well. And then I got stuck on this bit where you got to unlock a door. And I couldn't work out what was going on. There's like one of those things where it flashes a colour and you have to hit the colour. But sometimes it was working, sometimes it wasn't. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. I'm going to have to watch a video or read the manual or something and work out what's going on. But I thought graphically it looked really nice. It sort of felt to me like a cross between Doom and Alien Trilogy on the PlayStation. It looked like that. But yeah, way better than I expected it to be. Because the console game is not the best one, obviously. It's definitely not the best one of that generation. But it is a fun game and I quite enjoy it. And I was really surprised how nice it was. Control-wise, it was weird. I mean, it's the DS, so you're a bit limited in the control methods they can give you. But you do get options on GoldenEye Rogue Agent. You can have either, I'm trying to remember now, you've got right button, left button, stylus, and touch, if I remember right. So you can use a stylus to aim, which is really awkward and weird. But I did find that by using right button, I can use the shoulder button to shoot, use the D-pad to move around, and use the A, B, and Y and X to look around. That seems to work a lot better. But yeah, not a bad little game at all, quite fun. But then there's 2 other games which are absolutely fantastic. So the first one I actually played was GoldenEye 007. Now this is obviously the game that's reimagined on the Wii, then brought out as GoldenEye Reloaded on PS3 and Xbox 360. This one, by the way, CEX Roulette did not pay off for me. It's knackered. It's got a rip there. There's staining on the inside. It's not in good condition, which annoyed the crap out of me. And they've now put the price up. It was £6 when I bought it. It's now £8. Arseholes. So, and if you go on eBay, you're talking more than a tenner for this. You can sometimes get it around a tenner, but sometimes it's about 15. It's quite frustrating. I don't really want to take another punt on a CEX Roulette to get a better copy of this, because all I need is the artwork. The manual and the cartridge are sound, but the artwork is knackered. So it's bloody irritating. But anyway, that's beside the point, isn't it? So yeah, it is, as I say, the same game that you got on the Wii and the PS3 and 360, but they did change it to make it work better on a handheld. So there are level design changes, and it's more of a run and gun than it is anything else. You're literally just going through the level, just shooting all the bad guys. It works really well if you put auto aim on as well. That helps a lot, and you can just blast away at the guys. Control wise, again, took a bit of getting used to, but it is like GoldenEye Rogue Agent, where using D-pad to move around and the buttons to aim and to look around. So yeah, I think if I remember right, you strafe on the D-pad as well, and then you've got the shoulder buttons to shoot. So it took me a few minutes to get used to, but once I did, it was really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. I actually think I enjoyed this more than the Wii game, which is a game that I absolutely adore, and I've spoken about a few times on my channel. I'm a big fan of that game. But the DS game is really fun. The music's great in it. The graphics look really good. For what the DS can do, I was amazed how good the graphics looked. Excellent game. Highly recommend playing GoldenEye, guys. Really fun. And the last one is 007 Bloodstone. A game on the PS3 which I have played to death. I mean, I've lost count of how many times I've completed that game, because it's just one of those games I go back to over and over again when I need something quick and easy to play. Because it's only about a 6-hour campaign, and it's fantastic. This is really good and really impressive graphically. That I can't believe the DS could do graphics like this. It blew my mind, actually. As I say, I don't know much about the DS and its library, so for me it was really impressive. It might not impress other people, but I thought they did a really nice job of doing a third-person cover game. To be fair, a lot of it I just didn't bother with the cover. I just ran around shooting everyone. It's more fun. The controls, though, are very difficult. It's using the stylus, and you don't have options. You only have one choice. So you have to use the D-pad to move your character around, the shoulder button to fire your weapon, and then use the stylus to aim, and also to look as you're running forward. You have to use it to look left, right, up and down. It's really complicated and feels very awkward at first. I wish they'd given us more options to use the buttons to move around. If you could use the D-pad and buttons, it would have worked a lot better. But after a while, I eventually got into the flow of it, and I started to realise that you have to do a lot of small movements with the stylus. That way you can aim your weapon better and get more accurate shots. And a couple of levels near the end of the game were really fun, because they are essentially just go as fast as you can, and you double tap up and you can run, and you're just running through, just shooting everyone, and it's really cool. Yeah, I was really impressed with it. As a fan of the Bloodstone game on the console, I would highly recommend, if you've got a DS or a 3DS, pick this one up and play it, because it is a really fun title. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the DS. Now, the plan was I was just going to buy the Bond games, but of course, Champion 2D Rob has been putting up a lot of stuff on Instagram for DS and showing me how good the library is, and that's not good, because now I'm considering buying other games, and I'm starting to make lists for the DS, which is dangerous. And of course, I want to get a bigger one, but I looked at the DS XL and the 3DS XL, and there ain't a lot of difference in price. So at some point in the future, I'm going to pick up a 3DS XL, because I want to get back into the 3DS, because I missed that. There were some great games. Ridge Racer 3D in particular was one of my favourites at the time. So yes, it'll open up the library, then I'll have both libraries to get into. So yeah, that'll happen. I don't know when, because they aren't cheap, but it will happen at some point. But yeah, highly recommend Bloodstone and GoldenEye 007. I'd say have a go on Rogue Agent, because it's a really fun game. Quantum of Solace is an acquired taste, and it's going to take a while for me to get into that. It's very weird. Right, so the last thing I've got to show you is something that came this week. A new console, not for everyone, but it is the Atari 7800 Plus. So I got the 2600 Plus back in Christmas 2023. My parents bought me that, which I absolutely adore. It's brilliant. I've only got 2 games so far. A load of games got released Christmas 24, so I haven't managed to pick them up because it's expensive to buy them all. There's a lot of games that got released, so I'm going to pick them up slowly and surely over the year. But yeah, the 7800 so far, I've tried it, really like it a lot. I think the controller is fantastic. I've never played one of these. When I was a kid, I played a 2600. That's my Atari experience. One afternoon playing a 2600, and I've played lots of emulation over the years. But I really enjoyed the 2600 Plus. I thought it was great. The joystick felt fantastic. This joypad is fantastic. I really like it. It's so comfortable, because since it's a rectangle like the NES pad, I thought it was going to be really awkward and uncomfortable and dig in my hands. But no, really comfortable. I did watch recently, I watched Gen X Gamer, John, over in America, and he was doing a video about his mate who invented a new adapter, so because the buttons on the 7800 are quite far apart, and it's a bit of a stretch on your thumb, so he's come up with an idea to make it easier, which is great when you watch the video. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see that. And yeah, I did find when I first got this the other day that, yeah, when I was playing Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest, trying to stretch, I can't remember which way I had it around, I think it was to do the jump, and it was actually quite a stretch on the thumb. I was really surprised. They don't look that wide when you actually look at the pad, they look quite close together, but no, it's actually quite difficult. But besides that, it's a very comfortable pad. I think the stick works really well. I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not, but it feels really, really nice. It's got a nice dish in it. It's a nice dip, so your thumb just feels comfortable. I've only got Bentley Bear to play on it so far. I've got my two 2600 games, which also play on the 7800. Essentially, they both do the same thing. They play 2600 and 7800, no matter which machine you buy, the 2600 Plus or the 7800 Plus. So I've got Berserk and I've got Mr. Run and Jump, which is an absolutely brilliant game. Highly recommend playing that one. And I'll be picking up the rest as the year goes on. I'm really enjoying what Atari are doing. I think they're doing a fantastic job with these consoles. You know, I've never been a fan of really the mini consoles. I had a SNES Mini, didn't really like it, and I sent it back to Amazon. But these, because I don't exactly know how the hardware and software and the emulation all works, but the way it's done, where you can actually use the cartridges, and the cartridges are backwards compatible with original hardware, is really cool. And they're also supporting homebrew and bringing out those games like Mr. Run and Jump. I think they're on the right track here. I'm just hoping that one day, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, they're going to do a Jaguar, because I can't afford a real Jaguar anymore. They're too expensive. The games are still reasonably affordable, but the consoles are extortionate in the box, and I'm not willing to pay the price. So I'm hoping they're going to do a Jaguar Plus and re-release the Jaguar games like they've been doing with the 7800 and 2600, but also do the Jaguar homebrew, because I know that's quite a big community. There's a lot of good games coming out for it. So yeah, wait and see, fingers crossed. So there you go. That's all the stuff I've picked up that's non-Sega, Microsoft, Nintendo. Obviously those videos are still going to be coming. I've still got a lot more to buy. So keep eyes on my channel and watch those collections build up. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Leave your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.